Too many traps, I'm talking rodent traps. You don't know which one to use. The versatility of rodent traps, we're gonna show you all about them. Stay tuned. What you got? What you got? I'll tell you what I got. I got rodent traps. I got mouse, I got rat, I got different types. I'm gonna show you how to use them. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Craig here again, howtopest.com. And today, that is exactly what we're gonna do. We are gonna show you a couple of my favorite traps. Doesn't mean it's the only ones out there. And how to use them and how versatile they actually are. So, how do you waterboard rats? Just like this, with my rat water board. All jokes aside, I have mounted these traps on this board to show you some specific things. Let's start with the Victor trap, guys. This is the OG of rat traps. Been around forever, since your grandpa days, and they still work just as good. This is the Victor Professional, and like I said, I've showed you all these traps and how to use them in different videos. I just want to get a little more detailed and show you what you can do. But just like this board, pretend this is a fence post or a wooden area, and you got the rats going across, or up and down, and you're thinking, how do I mount this? Well, you can see right here, I put a couple screws into this trap, into the wood, to mimic like a fence post, like that. So once it's on there, it's very secure. This thing's not going. So you literally would just take it like I showed you in other videos. Let's see if this works upside down. Can you see it? You take this back. You got your little catch right here. Take this up. Raise it onto the sensitive side. Look on this trap. Look up close. Do you see the F and the S? I got them backwards. F, S on the trigger. Firm, sensitive. That's literally all you do. This trap is set. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to catch the rat. It's not going to flip and then be on the ground. It's good to go. How do you spring it? Like so. Okay, what do we got here? This is baby mouse trap. This is what two Victor rat traps got together and had a baby mouse trap. How are you liking the jokes today? Hilarious, right? Okay, see how it looks like a little piece of cheese?
I like cheese. I'm
showing you a different angle. When these traps are set, do you see how I'm up here along the wall? The trap is set so the rat comes like this, da-da-da-da-da-da, and gets him that way, or he comes this way, da-da-da-da-da-da, and it gets him that way. Same thing here. Comes this way, comes that way. You don't want them set any other way because that's the way it's set to catch their neck when they come from the left or from the right. So that is the Victor OG rat and mouse trap. The mouse trap, just like the other one, I'm trying to show you this on the camera, it has an F and an S too for firm and sensitive. Let's address that. I've done it in other videos. F stands for firm, S stands for sensitive. Where do you use it? Which one do you use? Firm is only on top of ductwork as far as I'm concerned. Anything that's going to vibrate when it turns on, turns off, it makes that trigger not as sensitive. And the S is for everything else. You want that trigger sensitive. So my opinion, always put it on the S. Now, they look like cheese. That's what they're supposed to look like. That one, especially the mouse one. But don't just leave it like that. Can you catch them like that? Yeah, you can. But not as good as if you were to bait these. What do you bait them with? Peanut butter, dog food, I've heard it all. Candy bars, peanuts, you name it. I'm going to tell you a real easy way to do this. You get over to howtopest.com. I'm trying to do this with one hand, and you pick yourself up a little JF Oaks. You see how it's in a syringe right here? We've done a video on this too. You take the plunger, let's put this under my arm, you put it in, you pop the cap off the top, doot, 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 you put a dot. See that dot right there? That's JF Oaks. That's how much you put. You don't need any more, any less. Some people put it in this little tray right here. Does it work good? Yeah, because it draws them in a little further. They have to put a little more pressure on there. It's technically where food is supposed to go. I've just always done it here. If you think you need to draw them in more because you're having a problem child, rat, mouse, put it up into the bait cup, get them in there more. Their body weight is on that before it goes off, and their head's already way in there. Bam, you got a catch. Okay, we'll put that back in my pocket. JF Oaks over at howtopest.com. All these traps on our site, howtopest.com. You got a pole, like a pipe. You see that? This is the Jaws. This is the Jaws mouse trap that I have on this. You see what I have it? I have it zip tied. They have holes already on here that you can run a zip tie through. My camera's moving all over the place. Hopefully you guys are getting that. But you can put it on posts. You can either drill them into wood, you can use the holes to drill them into wood, but it leaves you that option to put a zip tie through to attach it to a rain spout, a gutter they might be going up and down. And then you can nail them as they come and go. So there's always a way to put these traps, guys. How do you set the Jaws trap? It's as simple as this. I had to put that zip tie right in my waist, so it's going to make it hard. So let's go over here. You just take this. You hear that click? That's it. I want to put this right here and show you. Hold this, hit this, bam, catches them. There's a bait cup right in the middle of this. I'm a train wreck today. Right in the middle of that, there's a bait cup. The bait goes right in there, the same amount, whether it's peanut butter or it's the JF Oaks you got over on our site. Put a little bit in there, put it the way you want it, take it, clicks open just like that. It's that easy, guys. These are real simple if you don't want to mess with taking a chance of getting your fingers in the old Victor traps there. But cost-effective wise, a lot of professionals go to these. These are better indoors because they're made of a type of plastic that's going to hold up better than the wooden traps. So if you have to put a lot of these on the outside, I go with these. There's another version. It's a more expensive one. It's called the T-Rex.
You said you've got a T-Rex?
Same setup as these two, the rat, the mouse. It's just a different version, different company. They work really well. In my opinion, the T-Rex does have a really strong trigger, maybe a little more than the Jaws, but the Jaws, bang for your buck, bam, this is what I would get right here. And then if you're like, I got to put a grip of these out, then grab yourself cases of these Victor rat or mouse traps. The mouse traps come in a huge case. I can't remember how many's in a box. I want to say it's like 100, but don't quote me on that. It's a lot. And then these come in a case of 12. These come in a case of 12. And the mouse, I think, come in a case of 24. But it's on the website. If I get those numbers wrong, just get over to the website, check it out, get the one that works best for you. Now, I want to touch on something. The last thing you want to do, and I've said this, go over to our rat videos, our mouse videos, and watch how I demonstrate how to use those. But what I've also said is you have to protect these things outside. If you go and you put these outside, you take a chance, if you don't protect them or protect the people from them, of catching unwanted critters, unwanted guests, like you catch a bird. You can catch a blue jay. You can catch a sparrow. You don't want to catch the birds. They're not doing any harm. You don't want to get the paws of your animals caught in these traps, your cats, your dogs, and especially, guys, your kids. So if you put these outside and you can't put them out of sight, out of mind, where that's not going to happen to your loved ones or your pets or those unwanted wildlife out there, then don't put these outside. Otherwise, put them in a protective bait station. We showed you in a previous video the Protecta bait box, which is also for rodenticides. It also has a section to put a mouse trap. But on top of that, there's a box that will hold 2 of those that's specifically made just to hold them. So get yourself a bait box or some type of box to protect these traps from your loved ones and the unwanted guests you're not going after, and protect them. Otherwise, don't put them outside, man. I wouldn't recommend that. That's the same thing with poisons. They got to be protected. Don't just free throw those poisons out there. You don't want secondary poisoning. You don't want to hit, like I said, those animals you're not going after. So just be really careful on the outside. On the inside, you're good to go. Let's talk about in an attic where you're not strapping these down. I would put a string through these holes in the back, just like I have on the zip tie, and I would put either a piece of baling wire or a string, and I would tie it off to something, or I would screw it into a piece of wood of the framing, just so when that rat, and this is especially for rats, you're not going to get this with a lot of mice, but those rats, if you don't catch them right, they will drag this trap off, and you'll come back checking that attic or that crawl space and go, where the heck is that sucker at? and you don't find him, and now you smell where that sucker is, but you still can't find him. It's a nightmare, man. We've had so many jobs where we've had to go out and save the customers because they did exactly that. They put it out there, didn't catch them right, and now we got to hunt that thing down. It drags it off, and it dies where it finally dies, and you hope you can find it. So do yourself a favor, tie those off with a string or baling wire, and you will be good to go. That's it, guys. I just went over the 4 traps once again for you here. The ones I like, the Jaws and the Victors, and then I did mention honorable mention, the T-Rex trap. I do love that T-Rex trap. It is a little more expensive, but you pay for the quality of that spring on that trap. It'll really get you. Keep your fingers out of these. When you set these, make sure you are always in the back and you are in full control of this trigger. That one can pinch you and hurt you. This one can break your finger. So always be behind this. So I'm always behind it and I can let go, and boom, you hear that snap. I'm going to tell that fun story one more time. I was in an attic and I had a bead of sweat fall down on one of these when I was checking traps, and I made the mistake of having my hand close. Bam. I cried like a little baby. Luckily, it did not break my finger. It gave me a big bruise on 3 of my fingers, and I had leather gloves on. So be aware of that. These are very strong, and yes, they can break a finger. That's it, guys. Simple video today. Any comments, throw them down below. Anything you guys can think of that I left out or something you want answered, I'm happy to do that for you. Thumbs up. We appreciate those likes, guys. And you subs out there, good looking out, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Craig here again, howtopest.com. Have a fantastic day. Fantastic day. Take care, guys.